We shall next discuss closure of a binary relation. Under this, one can talk about reflexive closure, symmetric closure, and transitive closure. Let's look at the definition of reflexive closure, and the other two are similar to this. So, let's look at an example. Suppose A is 1, 2, 3 and R is say 1, 1 and 1, 2. R is not reflexive. Now we ask what is the minimal superrelation of R which is reflexive. What we want is we want an R prime which is also a relation such that R prime contains R and R prime is reflexive. So if you look at this, this is not reflexive. Therefore, my R prime is, it should contain R, and on top of it, I should add minimum number of pairs so that it becomes a super relation and respecting the property reflexivity. Suppose if I add these two, then this is reflexive and here is a minimal super relation containing R and respecting reflexivity property. So there are cases where reflexive closure of R is R itself. For example, the given relation itself is reflexive, and in this case R prime is same as R. We use this notation when we say R of R, which means we refer to reflexive closure of R. So informally, reflexive closure of R is a minimal super relation containing R. So it is a minimal super relation, so naturally it contains R and respecting the property reflexivity. So formally when we write, so reflexive closure of R is R of R, which is also a binary relation. Reflexive closure of R is R of R, which is also a binary relation satisfying the following. First, R of R is reflexive and it must contain R, and there are cases where R of R and R may be same. Third property brings minimality. So for any reflexive relation R prime, and suppose for any reflexive relation R prime, suppose such that R prime contains R, then R prime also contains R of R. So if you find any other reflexive relation R prime, any other reflexive relation, so R prime is not same as R of R. So if you find any other reflexive relation R prime containing R, then it must also contain R of R. That shows that R of R is minimal. So R of R must be reflexive, and it must contain R, only then superrelation will come. And if you find any other relation containing R which is reflexive, then it should also contain R of R, which means you are asking for a minimal superrelation. That's precisely what this says. So given a relation R, if the relation itself is reflexive, then R of R is R. If it is not, then add the missing pairs. So what are we adding to R? We add all those A comma A such that A comma A does not belong to R. And where is A coming from? A is coming from the underlying set. So this set is precisely my R of R. And in case R is reflexive, then this set is empty. And if it is not, then you will add those A comma A such that A comma A is not part of R. So that would be our minimal superrelation which is reflexive. In the similar line, one can talk about symmetry closure. Suppose R has 1 comma 2 and 1 comma 1. Assume A is 1, 2, 3 and R is defined with respect to this. Now R is not symmetric. Now what is our symmetry closure of R? The notation is S of R. So symmetry closure of R is a minimal superrelation containing R such that the minimal superrelation is symmetric. So 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1 is missing, so we add this. And there are cases where R itself is symmetric, which means S of R is same as R. And R as 1 comma 2 and say 2 comma 3, then my S of R contains R union. For 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1 I need to add. For 2 comma 3 I need to add 3 comma 2. So here is a minimal superrelation respecting the property symmetricity. So in general, what is my S of R? S of R is R union all those A comma B such that B comma A belongs to R and A comma B does not belong to R. Correct? So we look at all those pairs such that B comma A is in R and A comma B is not in R. We add those AB. And if you add and if you look at that relation will become symmetric. And we only add minimum number of pairs through this, which means here is a minimal superrelation which is symmetric. The next one is transitive closure. Transitive closure of R is T of R, which is R union. If the given relation is not transitive, which means you may not find A comma C, however, you find AB You find AB in R, you find BC in R, and you don't find AC in R. So if you add these missing transitive pairs, you see that R becomes transitive. And again, this ensures it is minimal superrelation which is transitive. For example, my R is say 1, 1 and 1, 2 and 2, 1. If this is the case and R is not transitive, because I find 2, 1 and 1, 2, transitive pair is 2, 2, 2, 2 is not there, and 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1 is present. So which means my T of R is R union. In this case, the missing one is this. Often, while constructing these relations, one has to follow a systematic approach. For example, let's look at this one. Now, R is not transitive. Let's look at T of R. T of R, it contains R, then all those pairs which were creating transitive pairs but not part of R. So 1, 2, 2, 3 is 1, 3. 1, 3 is not present, so include 1, 3. And 2, 3, 3, 1 is 2, 1, so include 2, 1. And 3, 1, 1, 2 include 3, 2. Fine. So when we looked at these two, 1, 3 was not present, so we included. For this pair we included 2, 1. Then 3, 1, 1, 2 is 3, 2. We included this. Now we ask, is this relation transitive? You see that 2, 1 and 1, 2, 2, 2 is not present. And 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1 is not present. So which means I have to add one more. So essentially, with this as R, we added 3 more pairs which were not present, but which actually causes this one is not transitive. So because these pairs were missing, due to that it is not. So we added. But what is happening is these 3 pairs, they are actually creating some more transitive pairs. For example, 2, 1, 1, 2, you see that 2, 2. So which means this relation is not transitive. So add some more. 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2. 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2 is present, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, and 3, 1, 1, 3, 3, 3, 1, 3, 3, 1, 1, 1, and 2, 1, 1, 2 is done, and 3, 2, 2, 1 is 3, 1, and then 2, 3, 3, 1 is 2, 1, and anything else are we missing in this, or is this transitive? So are we missing anything in this? Answer is no. And interestingly, what is this? This is precisely A cross C. Correct? A contains 1, 2, 3 and A cross A contains 9 elements and all are present. So there are examples where the minimal superrelation of R is minimal. Minimal superrelation of R is A cross A. So which means whatever elements that are left out in R, you will have to include all of them to make it transitive. So there are two things that one should make a note of as far as transitive closure is concerned. One, and just by adding a couple of pairs in say iteration 1 is not sufficient. The reason is that may trigger some more transitive pairs to be included. For example, in this case, at this point in time, it was not transitive, so we had to include pairs like 2, 2, 1, 1 and 3, 3. Then we were checking, do we need to add anything more, and it turns out that this is A cross A, one cannot add anything beyond. So which means, and there are examples where T of R becomes A cross A. Now we followed an approach. Now we ask, is there a systematic approach? Because in this example, this iteration triggered one more iteration. So we wish to know, are there examples where I may have to do it once more? So iteration 3, iteration 4 and so on. Or in general, how many iterations one has to perform before we conclude the updated relation. For example, from R you go to R1, then you go to R2. The current updated one is transitive. So how many iterations one has to proceed before we declare that here is a relation which is a superrelation of R and respecting the property transitivity. Is there an algorithm? Is there a systematic way of approaching computing the transitive closure of R, which we shall see now. So for the relation R equals 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 1, we know that this is not transitive, so T of R is not R. So we need to add something. Let us compute R square, which is R composition R. So you take R and compose it with R itself. So R composition R contains A comma C such that this contains A comma C such that there exists B belonging to A such that A comma B belongs to R and B comma C belongs to R. This is what the definition says. So which means in R square I find AB, BC and AB in R, BC in R. AB in R, BC in R, therefore AC in R square. So I get 1 comma 3. AB in R, BC in R, I get A comma C. AB and BC, so I get 3 comma 2. Now we ask, is R union R square is transitive? We ask, is R union R square is transitive? So along with R, you add this. Answer is no. Reason 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, they are missing, which means T of R is not R union R square. Fine. So given R is not transitive, then we computed R square, because we are approaching this problem, computation of transitive closure, in a systematic way. At the first level, I have identified the missing transitive pairs, that's precisely R square. And now I am asking, if I add these missing transitive pairs to R, will it become transitive? That is equivalent to asking, is R union R square transitive? Is R union R square transitive? Answer is no. Next I will go to the next iteration. Let me compute R cube, which is R square composition R. So you find AB in R square and BC in R, then you include AC. So you find AB, you find BC, so include this, and you find AB, you find BC, include this. You find AB, you find BC, so include this. Okay. Now we ask, is R union R square union R cube transitive? Answer is yes. So T of R, when you assumed R itself, it was not. Then to R we added R square, the first level arcs, which first level pairs that caused the transitive property, and we asked, does it satisfy transitive property? Answer is no. Then we looked at the next iteration, as part of which we computed R cube. Now my T of R is R union R square union R cube. So here is a systematic way of computing transitive closure of R. If R is not transitive, then first level you compute R square. Check whether R union R square is transitive. If yes, stop. That is your minimal superrelation containing R, satisfying the property transitivity. Suppose not, then go to the next iteration and compute R cube. You get the next set of pairs and merge them along with this. So then you ask, is R union R square union R cube transitive? In this case, yes. Stop your algorithm, which means my T of R, or a minimal superrelation containing R, is R union R square union R cube, satisfying the property transitivity. So here is a systematic way of approaching the computation of transitive closure. Because the set is finite, there are only n elements, this process will eventually stop after some iterations. Suppose this is not, then you compute R power 4, then you compute R power 5, and but there are only n elements in the set, you can only go all the way up to R power n. And what is given to us as R power 1, we call it as R, and we compute R square through this composition operator. Then with the help of R square and R we compute R cube. Then in general we told R power n as R power n minus 1 composition R. So we use that to compute this. So for any given relation, reflexive closure exists. Similarly, symmetric closure exists, followed by transitive closure. So when it comes to transitive closure, you may need more than one iteration, which is why we brought in this algorithm or the approach through which one can approach the computation of transitive closure in a systematic way.